Welcome to the Right Moves for You show.
I love that intro video. I was like grooving along. I was having a good time.
Awesome. So welcome everybody. Those of you who are watching on the Chris Hughes page, you know who Christopher Hughes is. And those of you who are watching on other pages that might belong to me, this is my friend, Christopher. And he is the head of Right Voice for You, which is a specialty within Access Consciousness. And we're going to explore what that is today because right at the top, I'm going to tell you he's coming to LA and we're going to do a 3-day class all about having your voice. And so those links will be in the comments and we'll get you whatever you require for that. But Chris, will you tell me where did you start playing with Right Voice for You? Like, how did that come to be where this was like kind of where you were creating from?
Look, I would love to tell you the lie that I've told myself about this before, that it happened accidentally or backwards. But that's, as I say, it's a lie. Nothing in your life happens accidentally. It's all a choice, whether you want to believe it or not. But the story goes, I was in a bar in London, England with Gary Douglas, and he got off the phone and he said, I need someone new to lead Right Voice for You. And he looked at me and he said, you'll do it. And I went, yeah, but hang on. I've never been to a Right Voice for You class. How am I going to do it? And he said, you'll be fine. I went, okay. Do you want me to do it because I can sing? And he said, no, it has nothing to do with singing. I want you to do it because you have a desire for people to see themselves.
Oh, so say more about receiving that.
Well, I do have a long background in performance and music and singing and all of these things. And I'm a very comfortable public speaker. And on the face of it, that's what people think Right Voice for You is about. They think it's this class where they're going to learn a technique so that they're confident and engaging when they speak to audiences. But it's actually more about a level of vulnerability and allowance where you don't have a point of view anymore about whether people see you or hear you or not. And as a result, you don't have anything to prove when you're out there being heard and seen. You know what I mean?
I totally do. And I'm so glad that you brought that energy of vulnerability. So I've taken one Right Voice for You class and I love all of the interactions that are in the class. But the thing that really showed up is like I had to get to the vulnerability to even be willing to be heard or seen, because so much of what I thought was going on up here was so wrong or no one should ever hear. So I was always like hiding something, and so like the invitation that was to get to the vulnerability to really speak and have your voice was really fucking phenomenal. So I would love to hear more about like what area, how do I put this? So you said like it's not the stage necessarily unless it is, but what other areas in life would be not having a voice that you could speak to?
Great question. Really anywhere. Like what this class really is about is creativity. And no matter what your job is, like I remember I did a Right Voice for You class in Auckland, New Zealand a few years ago, and the people that showed up were so diverse and seemingly random. There was a police officer and a lawyer. There was a belly dancer and someone who worked for the tax office. There was a housewife and there was a sound healer. And there was all of these different kinds of people. But all of them were looking for places in their life where they could have more of them and more creativity. So to me, why I bring up all those different jobs is whether you're an accountant or you're a Broadway singer, creativity is part of your life. Like an example of this that I would use was, and I talk about all the time, was my grandmother. She was not someone who would ever have considered herself creative, but her whole life was about food and feeding people and cooking. And that was how she interacted with the world and other people. And that was where she had a creative voice. was, and it's funny because she's been dead 10 years and people still talk about her cooking. Not just our immediate family, but the whole community knew this woman for the food that she made. And that's something that I would love to encourage everybody to look at, because a lot of people think that in their life they're backstage or they're like a supporting role and not the sort of star of their world, and that what they do doesn't matter or isn't seen. But no matter what you do and who you are, you actually do make lives around you with what you create and the choices that you make. So to me, that's what this class is about.
Thank you for that. Someone wrote that I have an echo. So we're doing our best, guys. You broke up just a little bit, Chris, but the good parts got through. So,
Okay, good.
So I do a lot of Being You classes as a Being You certified facilitator. When I look at this class, what you're saying right now, there's so many Being You energies in it. So can you extrapolate a little bit of that for me, of like where having your voice has so much to do with Being You?
Yeah, well, what I said before about vulnerability, the other key element that I talked about was allowance. And when you have allowance for you and you're actually get to that place where you like who you are and don't feel like there's any part of you that's wrong that you need to hide, you start letting it out and start letting people really see you, rather than an image of how you think people should see you, or that if you presented to the world would get them to like you.
I love it.
Mm.
Go.
No, that's really it. It's like not trying to pretend you are anything and letting them see you for who you are. Because so many people that I know, they think there's something wrong with them and they think they need to correct something or change something so that they will be accepted. But it's the acceptance or the allowance that you have for yourself that is so attractive to others.
Can you tell me how there's a lot of conversation in Access right now about image? And that's kind of like that energy, what you're saying is like putting the thing out there that you think everybody will receive. Will you talk about how, like in this class, how what that does to one's image of what they think they have to be?
Yeah. It is always based on judgment. It's based on judgment, and it's based on trying to manufacture a response from people. What I talk about with Right Voice is letting go of your image, and instead of trying to create a result with how people see you, you're trying to create a possibility and trying to create a future with the question you create in people's world.
Okay, I love that you went there. Thank you. So I've had so many people be like, but doesn't Dane and Gary do image with like their fancy clothes and the things that they do? And I love that you just brought up that thing, a question in people's world, because I've also watched so many times people like, who is that person? Who are they when they're creating from that place? So like, I know that this is like discussing the nuances on the Facebook Live, but is there something that we could give our listeners right now, like a takeaway to like a question asked, like mid question, like whatever that is?
Yeah. With whatever it is that you're choosing, like say even you're getting dressed to go to dinner, to a party, ask yourself, am I doing this for me? Or am I doing this to be seen a certain way? Am I trying to be liked and approved of and validated? Or is this really who I am?
And what's the other side of that, Chris? Because like I know that the other isn't necessarily wrong, right? Like if I'm doing this in order to create a result with somebody. And yeah, go ahead.
Look, it's not wrong. Nothing is wrong, no matter what you're choosing. And just look at what it's creating. Like, have you ever been to a party and someone turns up and they need your attention and they need you to like them. And as soon as they walk through the door, you go, ugh. Like even with what they've worn, the dress they've decided to wear, it's not like a joy-filled expression of who they are. It's like me, like me, like me, like me. And then when someone like your brother Dane here, or Gary Douglas, or Simone Milasas, or there's all these people that I know that are massive examples of allowance for themselves, they show up and they're being all of them, and they have this level of beauty and elegance and grace and elegance and ease in their world, but they don't need you to like them.
Bingo. I love that. Thank you so much. So there's somebody here with a question. She says, I'm not a singer. Actually, I've tried singing. I was not born with natural harmonic voice, out of tune. Can I become an extraordinary or at least very good singer if I choose it? Or does this body have amazing capacities that were a gift to me and I do not have all the capacities?
Yes. Here's the thing. If you're willing to get over your judgment of what good singing is, your voice can be beautiful. You may not have musical talent per se, but if I think of like some of the most amazing singers over time, they've had weird voices, like unusual voices that had a kind of a rasp to it or a different kind of color. And as a result, it was beautiful. They didn't sound like anybody else. Like, have you decided you don't sing well because you don't sound like other people? What if your voice was beautiful if you stopped judging it?
That goes for a lot of things, Chris. It goes for your body too. I said similar things in my beauty classes. It's what you've decided is beautiful that limits you from seeing you as beautiful. You know?
Yeah.
So absolutely. I love it. So we have someone in here celebrating too that they used to dress. She used to dress to impress her ex-mother-in-law. And now in the last 5 years, she dresses like her and it feels so good. Her personality has also changed so much, which is really cool. So I'm going to toss you one more question that I received today. It says, hey, Chris, we are infused with judgment all the time, from judging ourselves or other people judging us. How can we tell what is the right voice for us? Is it a feeling we get? Is it outside results? What can you help with?
First of all, get over the point of view that there is ever going to be a right voice for you or a right body for you as a definition. It's not a destination that you're suddenly going to arrive at and go, oh, that's it, that's me. I've seen people try to do that, like go, oh, finally I'm being all of me. But there's more of you every day. The thing with what right voice really gets us to look at is as infinite beings. And if you've never heard us referred to as that term before, those of you out there in Facebook lands, just FYI, you're a very big being and your body is inside it. You can be anything. So the right voice for you is whatever you're choosing right now, but have a look at it. Are you choosing it because you think you're supposed to? Or is it a choice to create something greater in the world?
Thank you. You are brilliant, my friend, and I cannot wait to have you here and explore this even more. To everybody listening, you can go, Chris, what's your website again? Mr. Christopher? Is that Mr. Christopher?
MrChristopherHughes.com, and you'll find information about the class coming up here in Los Angeles next week. I'm very excited. Actually, I guess it's 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks.
Yeah, but we're going to have a bloody good time. Sorry.
Yeah, we sure are. And if you have any questions about the class, you can also reach out to me. Can you still see me?
Yeah.
My screen just black. Okay, cool. You can reach out to me. I'm your host here in Los Angeles. There are no prereqs. That's the main thing that I would love to tell you guys. There are no prereqs. Anybody can join this class. So you can drag any loved one that you would like if you want to. And we are excited to greet you with open arms in Los Angeles. And I will say the weather here is incredible. So come play and discover your voice and what the right voice for you is, not as a destination or a definition, but as a possibility.
As an adventure.
As an adventure. Awesome. All right, Chris, thank you so much for joining me. Mwah. Big hugs and kisses.
Thank you. Bye.